You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
MAGA flies into frenzy over Alicia Keys July 4th video, based on an article by Daniel Hampton. Equal rights, unequal power. That outrage is the point. Alicia Keys used a 4th of July message to say something very simple. Women still do not have an explicit equal right guaranteed in the Constitution. That is not a wild claim, and it is not a division for clout stunt. It is an indictment of a political system that has been talking about equality for decades while leaving the core text of the Constitution untouched. The response from the right was immediate and predictable: deny the problem, mock the messenger, and pretend that absence of legal protection is proof of legal protection. Who actually has power? The source material tells the real story if you follow the institutions instead of the online noise. Congress passed the Equal Rights Amendment in 1972 with a 7-year ratification deadline. Virginia became the 38th state to ratify in January 2020, long after that deadline had expired. In January 2025, Biden declared the ERA the law of the land but did not order Archivist Colleen Shogan to certify and publish it. That is the power map. The people taunting Keys on X do not control constitutional amendment procedure. They are commentators performing contempt. The people with actual institutional leverage are the ones who can recognize, certify, enforce, or refuse to enforce constitutional change. That includes presidents, archivists, and the political class that has let the ERA sit in procedural amber for half a century. The fake debate. Sage Steele asking what right men have that women do not is not an argument. It is a dodge dressed up as common sense. So is the line that women already have equal rights and then some. If that were true in any meaningful constitutional sense, the ERA would not still be a ghost amendment invoked whenever convenient and abandoned whenever it might require someone in power to act. This is how bad faith politics works. It reduces structural inequality to a scavenger hunt for one easy example, then declares victory when the victim cannot answer in a meme format. The tactic is not confusion. It is erasure. It turns a legal dap into a rhetorical trick and asks the public to mistake smugness for rebuttal. The democratic failure inside the coalition. There is also a harder truth here for the Democratic camp. Symbolic support is not enforcement. Biden's declaration that the ERA was the law of the land without ordering certification is exactly the kind of half measure that lets politicians look aligned with equality while avoiding a fight over power. That is not the same as delivering constitutional protection. A party that wants to be the institutional vehicle against authoritarian politics cannot keep treating core democratic rights as ceremonial gestures. If the ERA matters, it should be fought for as law, not merely celebrated as aspiration. Otherwise the message to women is blunt: your equality is welcomed as language, not guaranteed as power. What the framing hide? The more revealing question is why the public argument keeps getting rerouted toward celebrity division instead of constitutional incompleteness. That misdirection serves the same old purpose: make the person pointing at the gap seem more offensive than the people maintaining the gap. Alicia Keys did not invent this problem. She pointed at it. The backlash is not evidence that she was wrong. It is evidence that the right still depends on pretending unresolved inequality is either already solved or too impolite to name. The patter. This story is not really about a singer posting on Instagram. It is about how American political culture protects institutional inaction by punishing anyone who says the quiet part out loud. Rights remain conditional, deadlines become alibis, and those with the power to fix things prefer ambiguity to confrontation. Bad is the system: public equality in rhetoric, procedural delay in practice, and aggressive mockery whenever someone refuses to pretend the delay is normal. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Ross Story for today's article. With the automated voice of Arctic, thanks for listening.